Hello, beautiful friends. Welcome back to 365 Days of Love and Miracles with A Course in Miracles. My name is Arlene Geres, and I'm so glad that you are here. Please remember to listen right until the very end, because we have a special treat for you. And if you enjoyed today's video, please click like and subscribe down below, because this helps others to find us on YouTube. Today's lesson is lesson number 165. Let not my mind deny the thought of God. Let's read today's lesson. What makes this world seem real except your own denial of the truth that lies beyond? What but your thoughts of misery and death obscure the perfect happiness and the eternal will your Father wills for you? And what could hide what cannot be concealed except illusion? What could keep you from what you already have except your choice to see it, not denying it is there? Let's talk about it. First, in our very beginning lessons, we learned that this table is not real, this chair is not real, and on it went as the Course slowly chipped away at our concept of what is real. Today's lesson further reinforces this idea that it is only the world of the ego, which is an illusion that covers up the truth of God, the truth of who we are, the truth of the real world, which is eternal peace, joy, and happiness. Only God's world is real. We need to be reminded of this often, because our habitual way of thinking is the thinking of the world. This is where we go without even realizing it. We have to realize it in order to bring ourselves back to the truth of who we are as God's beautiful, beloved children. That means everyone, without exception. Let's keep reading. The thought of God created you. It left you not, nor have you ever been apart from it an instant. It belongs to you. By it you live. It is your source of life, holding you one with it, and everything is one with you, because it left you not. The thought of God protects you, cares for you, makes soft your resting place, and smooth your way, lighting your mind with happiness and love. Eternity and everlasting life shine in your mind, because the thought of God has left you not and still abides with you. Let's talk about it. As I was meditating on this thought before I went to sleep last night, it was the most wonderful feeling. I kept saying to myself over and over again, I am a thought in the mind of God. God is thinking about me now. If God stopped thinking about me, I would cease to exist. So God must be thinking about me now. God is thinking about me all the time. I am meant to be an expression of God's love. We cannot feel badly about ourselves when we think about ourselves this way, my friends. It's the most incredible thing to imagine that every single one of us is an idea in the mind of God. The thought of God created you, and the thought of God created me. It has never left us, and it never will. Remember this idea, my friends. It is the source of your life, and it is the source of mine. Even when we're not thinking about God, even when we're caught up in the thinking of the ego, God is always thinking of us. The thought of God protects us, cares for us, makes soft our resting place, smooths our way, and lights our mind with happiness and love. This is a paragraph worth reading over and over again. Eternity and everlasting life shines in your mind and in my mind, because the thought of God will never leave us. It will always be with us. Let's keep reading. Who would deny his safety and his peace, his joy, his healing, and his peace of mind, his quiet rest, his calm awakening, if he but recognized where they abide? Would he not instantly prepare to go where they are found, abandoning all else as worthless in comparison with them? And having found them, would he not make sure they stay with him and he remain with them? Let's talk about it. Would you deny your safety, your peace, your joy, your healing, your peace of mind, your quiet rest, your calm awakening? Would you deny these things? I don't think so. We want those things. These are our gifts from God. They are always there for us to access, but we need to let go of the world of the ego in order to be able to do that. So let's do that today. Let's take a break from the insanity of the world and just rest in God today. Let's keep reading. Deny not heaven. It is yours today, but for the asking. Nor need you perceive how great the gift, how changed your mind will be before it comes to you. Ask to receive, and it is given you. Conviction lies within it. Till you welcome it as yours, uncertainty remains. Yet God is fair. Sureness is not required to receive what only your acceptance can bestow. Let's talk about it. We are assured that when we ask, God is going to deliver. Ask and you will receive. This is a promise. Are you asking for God's peace, joy, and happiness? Ask and you will receive. We may have uncertainty at the beginning, but the beautiful thing about these practices is that as we practice, our faith grows. And as our faith grows, we become more certain. It's a self-perpetuating cycle in which we step out unsure of whether this thing will really work. And as we test it, we find that it actually does. And as we find that it actually does, our faith grows. So we step out with more certainty. And on it goes until the faith inside of us just glows like a burning candle that we simply cannot hide. We want our light to shine so freely that people are attracted to us like moths to a flame, and they want to know what our secret is. That's our chance to share God's message of love. Let's keep reading. Ask with desire. You need not be sure that you request the only thing that you want, but when you have received, you will be sure you have the treasure you have always sought. What would you then exchange for it? What would induce you now to let it fade away from your ecstatic vision? For this sight proves that you have exchanged your blindness for the seeing eyes of Christ. Your mind has come to lay aside denial and accept the thought of God as your inheritance. Let's talk about it. We want to guard this precious gift that we have been given by continuing to do these daily practices. These practices reduce our chance of slippage. This particular section asks us, once you have discovered the peace of God, is there any reason that you would want to let it go? That you would want to return to the insanity of the ego? Is there anything that you would exchange for the peace of God? Is God's peace, joy, and happiness not what we have all been looking for our whole lives? It's a precious thing. There is nothing of my old life that I want. The more we practice this way of life, the more of God's peace, joy, and happiness we want. Let's finish our reading. Now is all doubting past, the journey's end made certain, and salvation given you. Now is Christ's power in your mind to heal as you were healed. For now you are among the saviors of the world. Your destiny lies there and nowhere else. Would God consent to let his son remain forever starved by his denial of the nourishment he needs to live? Abundance dwells in him, and deprivation cannot cut him off from God's sustaining love and from his home. Practice today in hope, for hope indeed is justified. Your doubts are meaningless, for God is certain, and the thought of him is never absent. Sureness must abide within you who are host to him. This course removes all doubts which you have interposed between him and your certainty of him. We count on God and not upon ourselves to give us certainty, and in his name we practice as his word directs we do. His sureness lies beyond our every doubt. His love remains beyond our every fear. The thought of him is still beyond all dreams and in our minds according to his will. Let's talk about it. We have Christ's power within us. It is inside of you and it is inside of me. We are learning to tap into that power through reading or listening to these daily lessons and then sitting in our meditation. We are God's messengers of love in the world. In this way, we are saviors of the world as we help others to see our oneness with God and all of creation. Abundance lies in God, and we can tap into God's abundance today as we feast upon God's banquet table of love, peace, joy, and happiness. And let's take that with us throughout the world today. For our practice sessions today, first thing in the morning, last thing at night, we're asked to read or listen to today's idea and then state the idea. Let not my mind deny the thought of God as we go into our meditation. let go of all of our doubts, all of our fears, all of our worries. We're told to practice in hope. God is with us in our meditation and throughout our entire day. We want to sit in our meditation for a minimum of 5 minutes. The more we practice, the more time that we naturally want to spend with God. We can count on God today and not ourselves to give us the certainty that He is always there for us and He always will be. For our shorter practice periods, on the hour, often in between, and especially when we're upset for any reason at all, we simply say today's idea, let not my mind deny the thought of God, and then we simply take a minute or two to sit quietly and allow this idea to sink deep within our beings. Thanks so much for listening right until the end, my friends. If you enjoyed today's video, please share the love. Tell someone about these videos. Encourage them to start at lesson 1 and only do 1 lesson a day. Are you ready for our special treat? Thank you to Susan Edge for this video of the palm tree being pruned. You couldn't get me to do that for $1 million, but these guys are amazing. Let not my mind deny the thought of God today. Let your mind be lit with happiness and love today, my friends. I love you.